What's going on, social media family? I hope everybody's having a really, really good day. I have a very powerful and critical prophetic dream that I want to share with you for all of the kingdom businessmen out there. To all of the Christian entrepreneurs, the men and women of God who are building something to help fund the kingdom of God. You're going to really, really like this. Now, over the last 6 months, I've had so many prophetic words, prophetic dreams, and visions from the Lord. Build it now, double down, crucial time, fast pace, acceleration season. Build everything God has told you to build. Lean into every prophetic word. Just lots of things according to building, because I know that we are in a very crucial time, a critical time, that we have to build according to the prophetic words that God has given us. Now, you always know your gifts, talents, and abilities will align perfectly with these, okay? So let's dive in deep to this prophetic dream. In the dream, I saw this businessman, and he had his whole entire staff, his team, and they were behind him. There was probably about 20, 25 people behind him. And he turned around and he said, "Hey, team, stay close to me. Stay really, really close to me." And then he turned around and he started to walk kind of like a very wide hallway. And to the left, there was a business room. It had, the long oval table, probably had about 30 chairs, and everybody was in there with the boss, and they were confused, and they were talking, and they were rattled, and they just couldn't figure things out. Well, he walked right down the hall, looked at them, and walked past them. Then on the right, there was another room with a long oval table with probably about 40 people. And the boss was yelling at everybody, and everybody was yelling back at him, and they were arguing amongst one another. Well, this gentleman and his team just kept walking down the hall. Then the next room was a room on the left, and it had about 50 people in it, and they were all confused. Some were crying, some were yelling, and they were just arguing amongst themselves. And in the dream, I knew each and every room was a business. And then they just kept walking down the hall. And then on the left, there was this big office, and this room had about 75 people in it. And there were, at the very front of the room, about 5, you could tell they were the key executives of the business. And they were worried, they were nervous, and they were even kind of bickering back and forth. And everybody else was yelling, screaming, crying, just total confusion. And then this gentleman and his staff behind him, they just kept moving. And then I noticed something very unique. He didn't have 20, 25 people behind him anymore. I'm going to say it was around 80 to 100 people. And the further he went down the hall, the more people started joining his team. And then all of a sudden, they kept walking, and ahead there was this huge chart. It was a digital chart, and their business was like in the 10th spot. And then it, moved the 9th one over, and they went to the 9th. Then they moved the 9th one over, and they went up to the 8th. Then they moved the 8th one over, and they went up, and they just kept going up. And then there were all these other charts for all of these individual businesses, and a lot of the businesses started going down by that little arrow sign. They were in the red. Well, this guy's business just kept going up. And he told his team, he turned around, he said, "Hey guys, everybody bunch up, get real close to me. We're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep advancing." And they turned around, and the more that they were moving forward, the chart for their business kept going up. And all of these other businesses, they were tanking. And, they had in this sector that they were in, they had number 1 through number 10. They just kept ranking up. They just kept ranking up. They just kept moving up. But the thing was, they were moving together in complete unity. Complete unity. And the thing about it, they weren't arguing. They weren't complaining. They weren't yelling. They weren't crying. They were focused. Completely focused in this time frame. And for the business owners out there that are called to make a difference in the world, to fund the kingdom of God, to do everything that the Lord has called you to do. See, I believe that the children of God should have creativity and innovation and just creating things and finding out ways and solutions better than the world. This is their time. This is their season. So my dear friends, I hope this right here helped you in a great way. I know over the past year, my wife and I, we've had so many different kingdom businessmen just come into our life. Some just show up at our church and become really good friends. Some join our mentoring program. Some, they partner with our ministry, and then we really pray for them, and we just become friends. We have a lot of friends who are just like in this dream. They're just moving up in what God has called them to. See, key leaders need people in their life. We all need people in our life. Make sure in this time you're running with the right people. Make sure that you have other people that are in your life and you're in their life. It's an iron sharpens iron, that you love one another. You care about one another. You're not trying to get something from one another. That's why I'm so thankful for every business owner that God has brought into our lives, because my wife and I, we have multiple businesses, multiple ministries, and I need voices in my life. And so I'm thankful for the people that are business owners in our mentoring program. In fact, God has given us some idea to create a space for business owners, and that's coming out in the future. But when I had this dream, I knew it was even an encouraging dream for me to create this kingdom space for people to be able to encourage one another to build. My friends, we're in a season that we are called to build like I have never seen before in my life. So I hope this video helped, I hope it encouraged you. If you want prayer, you can go to our website, jojodawson.net. Send me a prayer request. I would absolutely love to pray for you. And if you have any insight about this dream, feel free to write it in the comments below, because this dream is going to help and encourage a lot of people. All right. Love you guys.